Hey designers, doing things a little bit differently for this video, so I would love to know if you like this style. It's more relaxed, I'm standing up, it's more of a vlog type of video. I feel like the topic is more relaxed and it's kind of me opening up to you about some of the investments that I made in my business, the good, the bad, the ugly. And I just thought this kind of conversation, more chilled and relaxed, made more sense. So let me know if you like this type of video. And today's topic, well, I've invested in designers who ghosted my clients. I've invested in courses that I spent hours on and never mastered what I was actually trying to learn. I've spent on tools, courses, services. Some had a good result, a good return on investment. They helped me grow. And others, I would say I regret the investments. But there's one thing that's really important to understand is that whether they were good investments or bad investments, they made me grow somehow. So you hear a lot of people say that it's when you fail that you learn. And this is completely true. It's when everything's going according to plan, it's almost difficult to have a lesson out of it. But when things go bad, you learn a lot more from it, and those failures end up helping you a lot more than the small successes that you have along the way. I'm going to outline some of the decisions that I made for my business that didn't work out. It doesn't mean that they would not work out for you. Sometimes it's just a matter of timing, or it's the wrong person. There are so many reasons why an investment doesn't work out, or you feel that it doesn't work out. But regardless, there's one important thing that we need to remember is that if we do not try, we will never get anywhere. So of course, it's much easier for people who don't try anything not to fail because they're not trying anything. But if you try anything, you know, all the big entrepreneurs, they've tried something 15 times for something to work once. So you've just got to try, be patient, and make sure that you learn from those mistakes so that you don't redo the same thing next time. You can take the key takeaways from that mistake or from this investment that didn't turn out the way that you were hoping for, and build a better strategy or better approach for next time. There's a myth in the business world that people always think that they have to be ready to get started. And it's just a myth. You will never be ready, so you just need to start. And waiting is often more expensive than making the wrong decision. And if you're not making decisions, you're not building momentum, you're just maintaining a job. Let's break down some of the investments that I made in my business. As I said, all of them helped me grow. Some of them were a little bit painful, especially when you lose considerable amount of money, when your business is already in this phase of, you know, you've got to invest, but your cash flow is not that high. Well, it's tricky because you know that to move to the next stage, you need to invest, but your cash flow isn't really high. So it's a risk. But if we don't take risks, then we just stay stuck where we are. So sometimes it's hard to know what decision is going to be the right one or not. You kind of have to trust your gut. I'm going to talk about actually an investment that I've been making for the past few months that to me has gone wrong. My gut was telling me that it was wrong. I still went ahead and now I'm paying the price, $10,000. So let's go back to the beginning. I have my notes here to make sure I remember everything that I wanted to discuss. So in terms of team investments, gosh, I hired a few years ago a social media manager overseas. I think she was in the Philippines. She seemed to be talented. She was surely affordable. It was basically my priority was to find someone affordable. And sometimes we focus too much on how much people cost us rather than if they're right for us or not. So sometimes we have to look at everything, not just if they are the cheapest option, because the cheapest option is not always the best for you. And with this person, she never managed to understand my business fully. So I felt like the content that she was producing for my channel didn't feel like me. It wasn't written in my tone of voice. It didn't really align with my ideal clients, and it didn't feel right. You always tell yourself that you have to stick with it because you know you're not, the person is not going to understand your brand within a month, but then you know it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, And after 6 months, I just said, we need to stop this because you're still not getting what I'm trying to do. I cannot delegate the social media to you. The strategy is not aligning and it just didn't work out. And what I was looking for was someone cheap, but at the end of the day, it's not the only thing that matters. And if your cash flow is low, I completely understand. But if you're going to decide on one thing that is really a pain point for you that you really cannot do or you don't have time for, that is going to be making, that's going to move the needle forward in your business, then you need to make sure that this one thing is going to be taken care of by someone who understands what you need and who can do it well. So little lesson, if your visibility strategy is draining your energy, it's not a win, no matter how affordable it is. Number 2, I also delegated to junior designers who were not ready. Some of the issues sometimes were not even the skills that they had. It could be that they were not reliable. The attention to detail in the drawings was not good enough, and it didn't align with the quality of work that I wanted to bring to the table for my clients. And because I was so busy doing so many things, I was not spending enough time reviewing their work. We were making mistakes, clients weren't happy. 2 things could have happened there. I was in the first year, so I wasn't so good at training designers. I assume, like most of you, that when you hire someone, they already should be perfect. They don't need training. They can just start and it will create beautiful work and your clients will be super happy. It doesn't always work like this. You always have to train this new person to work within your company. So they may have skills, but they don't know what's important to you or your clients. They don't know your ideal clients. There's a lot to consider. And the main thing is you have to spend a little bit of time when you get someone new, so that they understand what your expectations are and the way that they should be working with you and what your company is all about, what your values are, what your mission is. And sometimes you think the person is not good, but the problem is just communication, not having set clear expectations and not having trained them at all for this position. But in that case, some people were just unreliable. They were not good at working in a team and they were really bad at communicating when they were not able to finish a job. So maybe something comes up, a family emergency, they don't communicate that they can't finish the project because they have a family emergency. Then the project is late by the time we realize that we have to reallocate it to someone else on the team. We are late for the deadline and this is absolutely outrageous. So I cannot keep people who don't know how to communicate, who don't know how to work in a team, and who aren't reliable. So those are mistakes that have cost me money, clients, energy, and that have made me feel really overwhelmed. And when it comes to team investments, I would say that at some point I was trying to offer too many services. And for some of the services were kind of hard to manage. And it was, as I said, it's great when you have multiple people who can take over for others when someone has a problem. But when you have lots of services and maybe for the web design, we only had one person doing it, then if there's a problem, there's a problem. We don't have anyone else. So I would say that I was trying to offer too many things. It confused everybody. I lost too much time on services that were not bringing in the most return on investment. And this is a mistake because then you dilute your attention into too many things. And instead of focusing on that one service that is bringing the money and making sure that you improve it, that it works really well for both the team and the clients, then you kind of spread your attention onto too many things and your service is just average all around. So this one was the third thing that I would consider as a team investment. Then in terms of educational investments, I invested in a SketchUp plus V-Ray course. I spent weeks trying to make renders by myself. And to be honest, if I look back now, it does make sense that I was wasting so many hours as a business owner trying to learn something that I should not have been doing in the first place, instead of spending my attention on running a business, training a team. And when you learn a new software, it's going to take you weeks, months, or even years to master the software. So for the quality of work that I wanted for my clients, it just didn't make sense for me to do the renders myself. I needed an expert who knew how to do those renders now, and I needed multiple people to be able to help all my clients. It didn't make sense as me, the business owner, to do the renders myself. That makes no sense. They were not good, and my attention should have been on developing the business instead. So big mistake that I see a lot of designers make. They're so excited, they buy this SketchUp course. It makes no sense. If you want to run a business, you should not be doing 3D renders. It's going to be much cheaper for you to delegate, outsource those renders to an expert, and for you to focus your attention on growing that business or taking care of your clients better. Then, of course, some investments for tools and softwares like those platforms to create funnels that you want to run ads, but then Facebook isn't tracking the sales, so this tool is completely useless. So I have many stories about tools that I spent money on were a waste of my time and my money. And right now I'm also going through something, investing so much money into someone who's not bringing me results. I have to drop him. And it's just really hard emotionally, even though we should leave emotions at the door when we run a business. But knowing that I've spent so many months wasting so much energy and time, and this person is not bringing the results that they should. So it's very difficult because you think about the negative balance after the investment, and it's really disappointing. But as I said, this is what it is. You have to try things to see if they're going to work or not. And 8 times out of 10, they probably won't work. So it's about knowing when to stop and and just moving on, understanding what went wrong and what you're going to do differently next time. In terms of marketing, as soon as I opened my business, the marketing company that I was working with recommended that I start using Facebook ads to promote my business. And apparently it's a big red flag. You should never run ads for a service or product that you haven't validated first. I had no experience. I was just starting my business. Nobody knew about me. And it was a disaster. I wasted almost $10,000 on ads for a company that had just started. Nobody knew me. I didn't have a reputation. I didn't have clients. So again, I learned from the mistake. But after all that, and still now I'm trying to follow this strategy, and it's not always easy, but I use a simple filter to decide what to invest in. And those are the questions that you're going to ask yourself. Number 1, is this solving a real current problem in your business? Not a someday problem. We have this tendency of thinking that we can invest in things that are nice to have and not essential right now. So I would like a nicer website. I'm just going to invest in a web designer. Is this investment going to make the difference? Is it going to help you grow right now, or is it just a nice to have? So always go through this, and that's why you need to have enough time as a CEO to put together a strategy, a plan of the next 6 months, for example, or even the next 3 months or the next year. But understanding what the priorities are is going to come handy when you're going to decide what you need to invest in first. So if it's not something that is going to move the needle forward towards your next goal, then don't invest in that. Number 2, will this give me time back, clarity forward, or increase revenue in the next 90 days? That's what I just said. All the investments that you're going to be making now need to be related to your next 3 months or 6 month goal. If it's not directly correlated to this next goal, then drop it. Number 3, do I have the capacity to implement or delegate this investment well? So sometimes you're investing, you need to delegate well. Do you have a process? If you don't have a process, you have no idea how you do projects and stuff, and you get a designer, does it make sense? So should you not work on your systems and processes first and then move on to investing in someone to help you out? Because otherwise you're going to be hiring someone, paying for someone, but then they have no idea what you need. You don't have a process. You don't know how you take on project. It's always different on each project. So make sure there's a timeline that makes sense. If it doesn't check at least 2 of those boxes from those questions that I asked, it's a no guilt, no FOMO, just move on. A little CEO mindset shift moment. And this is what I want to hear. Growth doesn't come from making perfect investments. It comes from making aligned decisions and learning from each one. the faster you decide and you course correct, the faster you move forward. I've wasted money, I've wasted time, but I never regretted trying, building clarity through action. So if you don't act, you will never know. At least, I planned, I decided, I took action, and then I learned. And that's what makes you a CEO. There is taking risks, but they are risks that you take based on a plan, based on a strategy. It's not out of thin air. And if you're at a place where you know you need help in your business, but you don't know where to start, hiring in-house like an employee with overhead costs and salaries that you don't know if you're going to be able to pay, this is not the best move. And that's why I created a simple solution for designers just like you, because that's the solution that I used when I started my business. And it's delegating to an outsourcing team like KVM, because it's one of the lowest risk investments that you can make for your business right now. If you are unsure and delegating even stresses you out, hiring is not the way to go. And we come in, my team, with the systems thinking, project management. And the cool thing about what I've created with KVM is not just a team you delegate tasks to. We think with you, we brainstorm with you, we help you elevate your systems, we help you build a process that makes sense. We help you get to the next stage with the support that you need to do so. Because when the work is great, you have a clear process, a system that works for your business. You have more time and clarity to work on your business and elevate your client experience. You will start building a business that is not only sustainable but profitable. You will be able to sign more clients and better clients, more premium clients, because you've had time and the team to elevate that client experience through the work, but also through the time that you give them, and also the process that is just next level. And the best part is that you can just try working with our team for as low as 10 hours. So this is just to get an understanding of what delegating is all about. If it works for your business, we will also need this time. You don't need to manage us because we have project managers and designers. We manage our team internally, but the first couple of projects will help us get to know you, understand what your expectations are, the way that you work, the way that you, the type of clients that you have. And if it doesn't work out for you, you can just walk away. So you don't have to stay stuck in technician mode. It's time for you to delegate like a CEO, and we can show you how. If you're curious to see what this looks like, you can just write a comment, support, and I will personally reach out to you. We can get on a call and see where you're at right now and what your goals are for the next 6 months. I hope you like this type of video. Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next time.